Hey guys, my name is Dana L'Oreal Morales, and it is Get Organized Month, and I am so excited to be launching our new cycle of the Declutter Club Challenge. For those of you who have been with us, Organized Academy, the Happiness Bucket, for a while, you know that every January we start a new cycle of the Declutter Club Challenge. And so this year is no different. And so if you are new, first, let me tell you how to become, how to get access to the Declutter Club Challenge. So if you go to dlmorales.com, if you click over in the resources section, there will be a card there that shows you how to sign up for the Declutter Club Challenge. It is free. All you have to do is put in your email address and it will give you access to the actual challenge, which in a nutshell is a number of different areas, common areas in your physical space that helps you tackle the declutter stage of organizing. Okay. And this isn't just a general, hey, checklist, because I know there's a lot of organizers that do challenges during this month, and so they'll give you a list of here are the areas that you're going to go and tackle. Although we do tackle the areas, common areas, we tackle them in a different way, and I've set this up so that you should be able to tackle them anywhere between 15 minutes and 30 minutes is the general time frame. Now some of you all may need to spend a little bit more time in your topic areas, just because of the nature of your environment, right? So if you have a closet, for example, that is in complete and total disarray, when we tackle the socks section, that may be easy for you, but then when we tackle the shirts or a different section within the closet, it may take you a little time. Okay, so just prepare yourself, and I talk you through that in the challenge. So when you sign into the challenge environment, what you will get is a number of different little exercises to go through, but you will also get, for each topic area, I not only tell you what the topic is, the topic area that we're tackling, but I give you the reason, or the kind of lessons learned from that topic area. Some are from my experiences, some are from the experiences of our community. You will also get kind of step by step, how do you tackle that area? So I get the question all the time of how do I know I need to declutter, but how do I declutter? So this is walking you through the steps of how to do it in a way that works for most people, or for the people in my community, right? And there are also some other, sometimes we need to use our formulas to help us figure out how much of something to keep and how much of something to let go. And so we talk through those things within each of the different topic areas. So they all aren't created equal. And so that is the uniqueness of this challenge, is that it helps you break it down. It helps you as a busy woman. I get it, right? It helps you understand, like, this is an area you can tackle in 30 minutes and go on about your day, go on about your life. I also encourage you to involve your family. Don't do this in a bubble, because you're not the only one who uses the space. So unless the topic area is something that just maybe you're tackling your closet, and maybe you have your children tackle their closets, or vice, or your spouse or what have you. But I talk through all of that within the challenge environment. So that's the first thing. So to get to the challenge, like I said, you go to dlmorales.com, go over to the resources tab. You'll see the card there that allows you to put in your email address and you can get to the challenge. Okay. Additionally, I also have the Declutter Club podcast. And so the podcast is a supplemental tool that you can use in conjunction with the challenge. So what ended up happening, the initial plan was to make that a audio version of the challenge. However, it became more of me answering questions of people going through the challenge, because the content is there in the written form, and really you can just check it out and then go do the effort, right? But on some of the topic areas, I would receive questions from our community. And so I started using the podcast as a way to answer those questions and to dig deeper into specific topic areas. So it is a living, breathing podcast, meaning that it builds from you, right? So if you guys don't ask any questions, there's no new episodes. But the questions that I have received thus far, we've already done those episodes. They're live, they're out there. You can access them at any time. Just look up the Declutter Club podcast and you should be able to find it. There's also a link within the challenge. And then so this cycle, if I receive new questions, I will post them out there, and I may, and this is dependent upon my availability and time, I will start to truly do what I intended, which is to make the challenge audio version, so that you can have access to it. But those may be kind of a private podcast, if you will, so that obviously, listen, this is a business, so obviously I need to be able to connect with you outside of the challenges and everything. So that is why I asked for the email address within the environment, so that we can stay connected and I can make sure you're getting the information that you need related to organizing. Okay, so that's the specifics about the challenge. But I really wanted to come on and talk about the topic area that I tackled this weekend, which I shared in my Instagram stories, which obviously I encourage you to connect with me on Instagram. I'm assuming you're watching this on Instagram, but if you don't follow me, I encourage you to do so that you can get access to the stories and can know the different areas that I'm tackling, because that is what I am doing this year, is really sharing more of my process of the decluttering, the Declutter Club challenge that I'm going through as well. Okay, so this weekend I did our hall closet. Now, first thing that you must know, I am real about life, right? And I'm not a type of organizer that believes that your house has to be perfect and in pristine condition at all times. We live in our homes, we are busy, we have children, we have all kinds of things that are happening. So there are times, myself included, that there are spaces that get disorganized, especially if they're high traffic areas like a pantry or a closet, be that your main closet or a hall closet. Those are things that are accessed by everybody in the household on a regular basis. So the chances of them needing to have maintenance is high, right? And when you don't maintenance those areas, what happens? You then have to come back and clean them up, right? Like you got to go through a maintenance, or it just gets disorganized and cluttered. So we tackled the closet this weekend, and listen, my family is well trained. Okay. So I came home, I said, hey, we're doing the closet today, pulled everything. I took the hanging items out first. Plus you will see there's the hanging shoe rack. That I have, and this whole system that's set up in this closet has been there for we've been in this house 12 years. And so that system has been in place, I will say 10 to 11 years. Okay. So we took everything out, laid it on the floor. You will see the images from that. Went through the hanging unit first, and just said, hey, are you guys going to use this? If you're not going to use it, let's let it go. Okay. The more we do this, the easier this process becomes. I will tell you, the first time is probably going to be the hardest, because you're going to start questioning whether you should keep something or if you should let it go. But as you mature in this process, it will be a lot easier. So we went through that. We put them in a semblance of order. So we tried to put all the scarves together, all the gloves, all the hats. And during this process, we realized we had 5 ponchos that we didn't, I remember buying the one set of ponchos, the blue set that you'll see in the image, for her some cheerleading event that we had going on. We purchased them at that point. And I think we may have I don't know, because we had 3, so we had to have been involved in this process. But I forgot that we had purchased 2 others at some other time. And so we saw today, or this weekend, that we had 5 freaking ponchos. We're like, we will not be purchasing ponchos at all. Like, these are permanent ponchos. So that was a discovery moment. I also, you saw the image where I had the little earmuff things. I had forgotten I had that and could have used it the month prior when we had to be out in the cold watching a parade. So those were two really interesting finds out of this process. Okay, fast forward. The coats, we did not declutter any of the hanging coats. All those were actually being used. My daughter did discover a coat that had fallen and was on the floor, but it needed to be washed. So we discovered that. And then she had some sewing items in the bottom where her sewing kit used to be at the bottom of the closet. We had moved that previously, but the sewing stuff, there was some sewing stuff that needed to be relocated to where the sewing stuff belongs. So my rule of thumb there is don't try to declutter the sewing stuff and do all that. It's just, is this something that you're going to use related to sewing? Yes. Okay, go move it with the sewing stuff. We'll deal with it later, right? So that's kind of how we handled that. And then we put all that stuff back. And then, which I think you saw the silly picture that we did with that. And then the shelving units, those are store our blankets. They also store the little backpack, string backpacks that people give away, and they're really light. We store those up there as well. And then my husband had baskets that held like his jackets that he used all the time and his hats. So we pulled those down. He went through those as well. So this whole process took about, I will say 15 to 20 minutes. It was a little bit longer just because we were taking the photos for you guys. But in general, that process usually takes about 15, 20 minutes to do if I remove the photo moments, right? And we ended up with a full bag of declutter items that we can now give to our mission. It's the perfect time with winter coming that we can donate those and they can utilize those for the homeless. So that was very successful. We ended up with one bin that was completely empty after this process. So that system that I mentioned has been, like, again, I said, it's been in place for 11, I'll say 11 years, right? And it works. It's just, we get busy, we throw stuff in there, it falls down, we're busy, we're running, we don't pick it up, that type of thing. So as long as you maintenance it, if the system works, you're going to know that it works because you're going to continue to be able to use it and not have to, it's just going to be obvious. That's kind of the phrase I will use, because when you start to move the stuff out and put it back the way it's supposed to be, it makes sense, right? You know when a system is broken. If it's constantly in disarray, then that's kind of your sign. For us, it usually happens at a period when we're really busy, and I come in, I'm like, okay, guys, it's time to maintenance this closet. So that was that particular episode or topic area that we tackled for this weekend that I wanted to share with you guys. So I will send out some additional I'll actually put some posts on my feed, but again, most of the in the moment things I'm going to put in the stories so that you guys can see them kind of as they're happening, and then I will convert those to video or to either reels or just static post for Instagram. That the hard thing for me to do is to make those posts, so it's easier to do the Instagram in the moment because they're just pictures or videos I take in the moment. All right, so that's pretty much what I came on here to tell you. And then finally, on January 18th, I will be doing a Get Organized event. It is going to be a live virtual event that I will be doing. So it is let me make sure I give you the right price. It is $19.99, right? $20. That's a Starbucks, that's a meal out. Do it for yourself. What this workshop is going to be, it is going to give you the foundational information you need to get organized. So we're going to go through the 5 stages of organizing it in detail. I'm going to give you the foundational tips and instructional information regarding organizing, the highs, the lows, all of that. It should last about an hour, and I'm leaving roughly 30 minutes for Q&A. If we go over a little bit, that's perfectly fine. I just want to make sure that I give you, it usually takes me about an hour to go through the content. So I will definitely make sure that you get the full gamut of the content so that you can not only do the challenge steps, because that's just really the challenge is just tackling one of the stages. There are 5 stages. So I want to go through each of the stages and explain to you how to do each of those. And this, the organizational roadmap that I'm going to be walking you through is actually giving you tools that you can use in all areas of your life. It's not just the physical organizing. So I think it's really important for us to dig into that. So that's going to be on January 18th from 2 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. Yes, that is a Sunday afternoon. I encourage you to, even if you think that you're going to be late or that you can't attend at that time, go ahead and sign up because you will have access to the recording and all the materials that I create for that workshop. You will have access to them after the fact, okay? But this, again, is a live workshop, so you'll want to go ahead and attend there at that time, okay? So that is it. I hope you have a great week, and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.